Hi, everyone. My name's Jody Hadlock, and with me is Joanna Kaminska. Hi, Joanna.
Hi, Jody. How are you?
Good. This is so fun. I'm so glad we're doing this. Well, I'm the author of The Lives of Diamond Bessie, and Joanna is an artist. She's in Ireland, and I'm in Texas. And we wanted to talk a little bit today about a collaboration on a project, which it's really, I say collaboration very loosely because it really is all Joanna and her ideas for the artwork and what she created that's so magnificent. So we want to talk about that in our background. Um, I was first introduced to Joanna when I went to Ireland on a trip for my research for my historical novel, which is based on real people and true events. And my main character was a real person. She was born in Ireland in County Cork. And my best friend and I were having lunch at a cafe near the Blarney Castle. And Joanna's artwork was on the walls. And I fell in love with it. I bought a piece, and then I learned that she makes these gorgeous scarves. And so I've also purchased some of those for myself, for family and friends. And so when it came time for my book to be published, I wanted to do something special. So I reached out to Joanna, and she created this original artwork and made the gorgeous scarf that you see behind her. And so I wanted to find out what drew you to this project? Why did you want to work on this?
First of all, when you approached me, I was just thrilled. My gut feeling was telling me, because you know my work, you give me the freedom to interpret it the way I want. Of course, I took into consideration your book cover, the colors. And so as you know, I did two sketches, and you picked the one you like the best. And it gave me kind of, I got into the book. It's like living different life. And for the first time in a while, I got drawn into the story, into the novel, that I could not stop. So I kind of transferred myself into 19th century. So it was a pleasure to work on it because I could interpret it the way I wanted it. Of course, with you giving me, I was consulting everything step by step with you because I wanted you to be happy. But I love this collaboration because of the freedom you gave me.
Mm-hmm. Well, what you created is so meaningful. And if you could talk a little bit about what's in the scarf without giving away too much of the story, but everything on there represents something that's in my novel.
Yes, so we don't want to give away too many informations, but so basically, what I loved about your book is that you there were links to Ireland, many links, and you could feel it. I kind of tried to incorporate the main themes, which is Annie Moore here, and I was reading how you described the dress she was wearing, and there was a point when I decided that she should hold your book. I don't know if it's visible from here. Yes. And there is a moment as well when you describe when she's losing all her diamonds and she puts them into the big chest, and then she wakes up and they are gone. There is a lot of mythology in your book, which I love, especially here. I love the moment when you were describing Clytia, who was the water nymph, and so she fell in love with the sun god, but he rejected her, and then she turned into sunflower. So this I thought that would be a great element for the scarf, which I incorporated in here as well. There is a bit of New Orleans. I took from the first sketch. I don't know if I can.
Oh yeah, Queen Maeve, because there's Irish mythology in my novel.
So you see, there was a moment in the book where Annie meets her mom, and she's sitting on a rocking chair, and she's knitting. So this is the element where I incorporated. I painted a shawl and painted houses, Irish houses, and a ship which is on the way to the US. And this is a tribute to the immigrants. There are other elements as well, like Maeve, and she was the Queen of Fairies, right?
Yes. And she's in Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet. There's a famous scene with Mercutio. So incorporated that.
So that's why I decided to put my name on it, as I am I'm creating or trying to create some magic.
Yeah. Well, you did create magic.
Yes. So I'm the fairy.
I love it. Oh, but it's very meaningful. And just so people know, my novel it's a historical novel. It's based on a true crime that actually happened in East Texas in 1877. But the main character, Bessie, who was originally known as Annie Moore, was born in Ireland in County Cork, and then her family came to the U.S. Around 1855. So it's historical mystery, but it's more of a whodunit than a whodunit, and it's also part ghost story. So you incorporate all of that in there. And she was a 19th century prostitute, and she spent some of her time in Cincinnati, Chicago, and New Orleans. So Bessie had a love of the French Quarter, which you incorporated. And then the women's rights movement is also significant in my book. And you have the bluebird there for the suffrage movement.
And yes. So could you tell me, I know you were working on the book for a good few years, right? You were doing your research, going, visiting libraries. You visited Annie's hometown, right?
Yes.
And the place she lived. So it's all based on real events, but you had to let your imagination kind of leads you, because there are moments when she runs away from the convent shortly after she gives birth to her daughter. And is that based on a true, like on events, or did you kind of?
That's fictionalized. Yes. Not much is known about Bessie leading up to when she became a demi-mondaine. So, but I read the memoirs of 3 19th century prostitutes that were fascinating. And so that informed the first part of the book. So that's very much fictionalized. But there are a lot of factual events, a lot of things that really happened that are in the novel. But of course, since not much is known, there's a lot of fiction, obviously, since it's a historical fiction. But it was a long journey, and I visited every place Bessie lived or visited, including Ireland, which was so much fun. And of course, you are actually Polish, living in Ireland.
And I was living in the US as well.
So
yes,
this is great.
So I have a few pieces of this scarf in large size, and these are the very, very limited edition. And every purchased scarf will come with your book.
Which I've signed, so it will be signed.
Yes, yeah.
And of course, I'm wearing the scarf, and I absolutely love them. I have your marionettes, which I love. And this is really special. So I'm so glad that we collaborated, and I use that term very loosely, because this is all you. And I'm so honored that you took on this project and what you created. So it's very special. And I hope that some people out there will also want to enjoy the scarf as well, and my book.
Yes, it was a pleasure to work with you, and this would not have happened if you wouldn't write this.
Well, thank you.
Yes, it was an honor. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.